Think about the silence in the Moloi household. It's not just a peaceful silence, it's heavy. It's the kind of silence that feels like someone is holding their breath in a room full of gunpowder. Today, we're looking at Zone 14, but we aren't looking at the soccer team or the funeral parlor. Instead, we are looking at the shadow of the community. We usually think of a family secret like a photo hidden in a drawer, static and harmless. But psychoanalysts like Yariv Orgad and Wilfred Bion tell us the opposite. A secret is an active attack. It's a bomb that doesn't just hide the truth. Instead, it destroys the family's ability to think, breathe, and grow. When Bright Tiger survived that car crash and Bion Moloi died, it didn't just break a team, it triggered a total collapse of the truth in the two most powerful families in the community. In the Moloi household, knowledge isn't power, it's a landmine. By refusing to connect the dots honestly, the family stays in a state of misknowing. They'd rather live in a nightmare they know than the truth they have to process. Mr. Sibiya and Moloi recreates this pattern when he suddenly reveals a secret crime that happened in the 80s, but it was done to keep Bright Tiger behind bars in prison while he continues to capture ownership of the Tiger Boys soccer team. In psychology, there's a concept called minus knowledge, or the anti-brain. It's a destructive state where a family works together to make sure that nobody actually learns anything. They aren't just missing information, instead they are actively killing it. They are actively killing the truth to protect their own comfort. Look at Mr. Moloi. He's bitter and grieving, but he's also holding the truth bomb about Stella and Bright Tiger over Digger's head. He isn't doing it to set Digger free. Instead, he's using knowledge as a weapon to create chaos in the household. The truth isn't used to heal, it's used to burn everything down. In Bion's psychoanalytic theory, minus K refers to an active process of anti-knowledge or disidentification of the truth. Unlike simple ignorance, where information is just missing, instead, it is a destructive mental state where a person or a group of people actively work to strip meaning away from their experiences. It functions as an attack on linking, meaning that the mind refuses to connect the raw emotions or thoughts to their symbols. Instead of learning from an experience, the individual misknows or misinterprets it to protect themselves from the pain of reality. This results in a hollow internal world where words and signs are emptied out of their emotional truth, leaving behind only empty shells of communication. In a minus K system, communication isn't absent, it's poisoned. They speak, but they use words to bury the truth rather than to reveal it. Think of minus K like a censored news broadcast. It's not that there's no news, it's that the signal's being jammed on purpose. The Molois are their own internal SABC, redacting the truth until the family's history is just a series of bleeps and empty spaces. This brings us to an interaction between Stella and Digger, where she responds with the ultimate shut-up move. Digger is smart, he feels the lie. He asks about his mom and Bright Tiger, but Stella hits him with the line that stops his heart. I'm your mother. Nobody will ever love you the way I do. On the surface, it's beautiful. In reality, it's a cage. She is using her maternal role to kill the conversation. When Stella uses the motherhood card, she is hijacking a sacred South African archetype. She knows that in our culture, you don't talk back to a mother. She's emptying out the meaning of love just to protect her own skin. By using her role as a matriarch and a leader, as a shield for herself, she's committing a psychological hit and run on Digger's curiosity. This is what we call an empty sign, using a big emotional word to make sure that no real thinking happens. In one particular scene, when Digger questions Stella about her relationship with Bright Tiger, she pauses to offer him ice cream, a gesture that serves as more than a simple distraction. Given the high sugar content, this act aligns with psychoanalyst Marion Woodman's observation that the longing for sweet food is really the longing for love. By feeding him first, Stella is sweetening the poisonous lie that her intimacy with Bright Tiger is merely a tactical front, a spy mission designed solely to protect the Moloi family. This interaction between Digger and Stella is a poignant moment where a mother tries to bridge the gap between her dangerous reality and her son's need for security. This creates a dead unity. On the outside, the Moloi and Sibiya families look fine. They run the parlor, they run the tavern, they manage the team, they show up. but they aren't alive inside. They become static things. Bright Tiger is a legend, but he's stuck in a hollow marriage. Stella is a widow stuck in a lie. They aren't people anymore. They are just objects occupying space in a drama, unable to move forward because the anti-brain or -K has them frozen. They've replaced real relationships with empty things, money, business, and coffins because the anti-brain has them paralyzed. Think of these secrets like a virus. Usually, a family talks to heal, but the Molois have an autoimmune reaction. Like white blood cells attacking a healthy organ, their communication attacks the family system itself. Instead of pulling together after boy's death, instead they use vagueness to drain the meaning out of their lives. Digger's revenge is the perfect example. He blames Bright Tiger for his father's death, so he poisons the Tiger Boys soccer team from the inside. He's part of the community, but he's eating it alive. By targeting the soccer team, he's attacking the heart of Bright Tiger's world. He's not just looking for an apology, he's ensuring that the Tigers can never link their success to a happy reality ever again. It's a partnership of destruction between him and his grandfather, Sibiya and Moloi, which is built on what they hate rather than what they know together. In a family or a social setting, -K manifests as a collective effort to maintain secrecy and confusion. When a family operates in -K, they aren't just hiding a specific fact. They are destroying the shared space where truth can be generated. For example, using a generalized statement like, "I'm doing this because I love you," to cover up feelings of insecurity or a manipulative act is a -K move. It uses the sign of love to block the truth of the harm. Because -K prevents mental growth and emotional digestion, the people involved often get stuck in a dead unity or a static state where they repeat the same toxic patterns because they have effectively disabled their own ability to understand or learn from their own lives. In a healthy community, people talk to make sense of things, but in Zone 14, they talk to misinterpret. When the news hits the streets that Bright Tiger survived while Boy Moloi died, the community doesn't seek the truth about the crash. Instead, they dive into -K by creating empty signs. They speak of the misfortune, which is just a way to avoid the painful reality of the messy relationships and the negligence behind the scenes. By doing this, the community destroys its truth-generating space and its ability to hold its leaders accountable or support the grieving families authentically. Then there's Digger. He carries the weight of the unsaid physically. He has become immovable and static, incorporating the family's heavy secrets into his own body. But don't let the quietness fool you. Digger is the ultimate embodiment of -K. He's a loan shark and preying on the soccer team. He uses the funeral parlor, a place that is meant for truth and finality, to fund the destruction of the community's pride. In psychology, the third is the shared sacred space where two people connect to create a new meaning. But in Zone 14, that bridge is actively being sabotaged. Look at the settings, the tavern and the funeral parlor. One is for numbing with alcohol and the other is for burial through death. There is no middle ground where life and truth can actually breathe. When Digger and Mr. Moloi speak in the funeral parlor, they aren't really connecting. Instead, they are negotiating in a graveyard. While they share words, Mr. Moloi is operating from a position of -K. See, as the grandfather, he holds the master secrets, the ones that Digger hasn't even begun to guess. By withholding the full truth about the past, Mr. Moloi ensures that Digger is a partner, but in name only. They aren't grandfather and grandson. Instead, they are just two men standing amongst coffins and using the unsaid as a wall. Mr. Moloi isn't just protecting the family. Instead, he is gatekeeping reality. He talks to Digger to keep him close, but he keeps his secrets to keep him controlled. When your third is built on a foundation of hidden graves, the relationship is already dead on arrival. Zone 14 shows us that when we protect the image of the family, we kill the people inside the family. Ask yourself, in your own life, are you using empty signs like, "I'm just doing my best," or "that's just how things always are," to avoid a truth that needs to be processed? You don't have to be a static thing. You can break the chain. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you next time.